Hey everyone, my name's Nakamura, and today I'm going to show you how to play as Hades against Kronos on a more aggressive map like Tundra in Deathmatch. So yeah, let's take a look. Before the game even starts, you'll be basically spamming the town center hotkey and make one villager. So that's basically H and V if you're using default hotkeys. That basically saves you some time. And as soon as the game begins, you pick all your villagers and you throw down the temple as well as your houses. Throw down the houses around the town center to secure it a bit. And then just before the temple completes, around 80%, move 6 of your villagers to your close settlement here. So we'll be securing that with a bunch of barracks. And then the extra villager you've made, send it to the side somewhere. We'll be making a side build in order to make Gastrophides later. And advance to the classical age through Ares. Use the Cyclopses then to harass and make 2 heroes immediately, both of them. And then you can make extra Cyclops, throw down the armory, and start building just like this, with the barracks touching each other. So I like to make some military academies, some archery ranges, and 1 stable. However many you need. And then any extra gaps, make sure to fill them off with the villager. Now, there might be time to make an extra villager here, depending on how far away you had to go with your armory. As soon as this is done, start producing units as soon as possible. You can make an extra tower if you like. It will help you to protect against possible Oracle hero harassment if the map is smaller than this. Then in the heroic age, you have 3 or 4 villagers depending on how far away you're placing your buildings. And on the side, make sure to start up the archery ranges. Make your market and start making 2 fortresses. We're making 2 fortresses because Kronos has deconstruction, right? So they can take away one of our fortresses immediately. And meanwhile, we're also starting to harass over here. We already killed a tower that was time shifted. And this Oracle here is going to get some line of sight. So we're trying to shoo it away with some units. And everyone else is just going to be flooded forward. We should be nearly done with the market. So at this point, we'll be picking Hephaestus for H4. And we'll make our hero immediately from our town center. And some extra villagers which will rally onto the temple. These guys will be praying to generate us some favor. Immediately start producing some colossi. And make one of your archery rangers produce Gastrophides on auto queue. This will help you push through the front. Meanwhile, with the Cyclopses here, we forced a little bit of repair time on these villagers, which is super important because if we don't, they'll make 7 palaces, and you do not want that. Anyway, with the side build over here, let's start to make Gastrophides as well immediately. And we've rallied them over here, which is super close to this town center that the Kronos player will be picking up soon. Once you have a decent force, start pressing forward as Pestilence will be unlocking momentarily. And we can use that on the buildings to cripple the Kronos player. Meanwhile, they're trying to do a time shift here, but we've already almost completed our settlement. Just really focusing it with these 5 or 6 villagers, however many we send. And then we can, as soon as the fortress completes, we can start to produce Helipolis from that and the extra missing heroes, if any. Make sure to include Perseus. It's very easy to forget about him. Just use the idol banners. And make sure to use his ability on Heka Giants, because they can slow us down a lot. Pestilence, make sure to target it on the central group of buildings. So I missed some palaces here, which is why my opponent Viz was able to keep a pretty decent population for longer than he should have. Anyway, a second TC is complete. So first off, you'll be wanting to gather wood with these guys over here. I'm also making some extra defenses because he'll be definitely using Vortex later down the road. So you can already see the immediate effects of Pestilence. He's 98 population out of 120, which is great for us. Unfortunately, I forgot to make Helipolis in this game for quite a while. That's a shame. Finally started it. And on the side here, we've actually shooed away whatever villagers there were. And now we're actually attacking a palace. I think we're gonna get the kill on that. Anyway, the Helipolis is gonna help us to siege down everything and tank a lot of archer fire with that 96% pierce. armor. And Underworld is soon going to be available, so it's a really strong follow-up. And meanwhile, we've started auto-queuing villagers here on wood. And in the main base, we should be moving on to gold very soon. I've gotten some extra prayers here in order to be able to constantly produce Colossus, excuse me. Because Viz's army just didn't look that strong, so I felt if we produce a lot of Colossus now, then we'll be able to do some extra damage. Then I've made some extra Gastrophiles as well, because I feel that he didn't protect too well here. As I said earlier, started auto-queuing villagers here too, immediately after Perseus got made, and now we're actually sending them to gold. I'm not sure if I've started my trade yet, doesn't look like it. And here this is a little retreat in order to be able to use our underworld. And there it is. So we'll not only be stopping this underworld here, but we'll also be able to threaten this by placing it in the middle. That's pretty awesome. This has to go back all the way because he still doesn't have access to Vortex for quite some time. Oh, he still shows my powers. So now we have quite a few gatherers here. Pretty decent income, pretty decent defenses, especially given that we're Hades and there's a lot of extra firepower for our buildings. And at the same time, I'm sending a single Helipolis forward to keep this town center down. And taking out some of the manors as well as the town center. He's trying to steal my forward TC, which is something that happens pretty often. But with this gone, he's down to 0 town centers, which means he absolutely has no chance to get any economy. So the game is essentially over here, and I'm just going to fast forward through so that you guys can see the end. But thank you very much for watching, and make sure to subscribe, guys. Also check the description section for other places where you can follow my stuff, including Twitch and Discord. Yeah, he tried to come back, didn't manage to. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much, guys, and see you next time.